Joe Biden surprised a lot of people by adding to his climate agenda the revoking of the Keystone Access Pipeline. Now, a lot of people are very happy that the pipeline has gotten revoked and removed. It's a pleasant surprise because I didn't think that Biden would actually be that great as far as climate. I thought, of course, he'd get us back in the Paris Climate Agreement, which is a lot better than what Donald Trump was doing, but not nearly enough. I didn't expect him to take a proactive step like this. So credit to Joe Biden, and now let's continue to make sure he does hold up his end of the bargain for climate change. Let's not just celebrate him and, do what the media is doing, which is effectively give him smooches. Oh, Grandpa Joe, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. You've saved us all. No, let's not do that. Let's continue to apply pressure on this man. But that being said, a lot of people are criticizing him because they're saying he destroyed 11,000 jobs by canceling the pipeline agreement with Canada. And I forget which premier, but one of the premiers in Canada is very upset, and he said he wants to go to war with Joe Biden over it, and we could sanction the U.S. for this and blah. Like, imagine sanctioning someone for caring about the environment. It's literally the dumbest thing ever. And by the way, nothing's going to come of it because as much as we depend on Canada's trade, Canada depends on ours more. So nothing's going to come of that. But anyways, so after he signed the executive order to revoke the pipeline, people are saying, hey, you're destroying 11,000 jobs and $2 billion in wages. You're killing jobs. Is this actually true? Well, Austin American Statesman did an article, and they said, fact checking this, and they said, is it true that yes, that these jobs are going to be destroyed? And they said, according to PolitiFact, he said it's half true. So yes, it's true that there are there were some jobs that were lost as a result of this decision. They said somewhere between 12,000 to 83,000 apparently. But they took a deeper look into it, and they estimated that most of the jobs would be temporary. So a lot of these jobs would have only lasted for 3 to 6 months. So in the long run, they wouldn't have helped people. So creating jobs in the clean energy sector, which is what Biden has said he wants to do, in the long term will actually help more people because these jobs will be longer lasting jobs and it'll be working toward clean energy. So I would argue that these jobs are replaceable, and that we can create jobs for these people that are not only replaceable but longer lasting. Now, how many people would have had permanent jobs based off of this? Well, according to David Dole, of the Rational National, he said that only about 50 people would actually get permanent jobs, and only about 200 of these people would be working for longer than 6 months. So in other words, very few people were impacted by the pipeline being closed and the as far as like in the long term. Now, yes, short-term losing temporary jobs and stuff, yes, that does hurt. But at the same time, a lot of these people, they're not going to be unemployed because the pipeline's gone. Like, that's misleading or a misconception. The truth is that there are a lot of big contracts that are given out to do these type of things, like for construction and, piping and all these things. So, essentially, the contractors are going to lose these contracts, right? But that doesn't mean that the people who work for these contracting companies will actually be unemployed. It just means that they will not be working on these projects. So what will they do? They will work on other projects, So you got to put this stuff into perspective. Now, obviously, yeah, they were probably going to hire more people for this, but the hiring was going to be temporary anyway, 3 to 6 months at the most. And only about 50 people were going to be hired to full-time jobs to maintain this pipeline. So, while it is unfortunate that a lot of people won't have these temporary jobs, I definitely say the benefits outweigh the risk in the long run, and also, the conservative media and also some of the politicians in Canada should stop just throwing out big numbers like, "Oh, we lost 20,000 jobs," and actually just be genuine. Like, don't be disingenuous with the information. Please don't do that. But yes, so yep, he's revoked the pipeline access, and people are saying like he's putting 80, 100,000 people out of work. That is just unequivocally false. It's not true. Yes, some people will lose these temporary jobs, but from an overall perspective, only about 50 to 200 people are actually going to be hired long term. And, the benefits of canceling the pipeline definitely outweigh the risk. And I'm happy that Joe Biden has done this and that he's actually staying committed to climate change like he said he would. Now, how long will this last? I don't know. We don't know. He might do some backdoor deal with an oil company or whatever, in typical neoliberal fashion. But so far, he's been really good with the climate. Really good. So, we'll just have to see how long this lasts. But for now, we can all be happy that the Keystone XL pipeline has been terminated and there's no more.